Salutations, spooks, spirits, and specters, and welcome back to more Corpse Party Book of Shadows. We're starting up episode 3 now, Encounter.
Tenjin 5番地のこれ23だよな。それとも33か？まったく山崎先生の字は読みづらいな。はあ
This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning, and of course it stopped working. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch. And I was roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, long after the school day had ended. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Miss Yui, our homeroom TA, who was out sick with a cold.
後でゆかに謝らないとな。今日は早く帰ってゆかの買い物に付き合ってやる予定だったし。天神5番地23の11、ここか。これが6番地33の77とかじゃなければだけど。
I stopped and compared the memo in my hand with the apartment building in front of me. It was 2 stories tall and looked a little on the shabby side. Probably about 20 years old. It didn't seem very solid, nor was it particularly stylish or chic. It was a completely unremarkable structure in every way.
ここの207号室、いや、201？
I'll just say, Satoshi, maybe you should have just asked for the numbers and wrote them down yourself if you're having this much trouble. I was really getting fed up with this handwriting, and from a teacher no less. In any case, it seemed certain the apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I trudged up the startlingly narrow steep stairs. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Why would someone live in such a run-down apartment building?
先生の給料ってもしかしてすごく安かったりするのか？
I felt a little sorry for her, but in a way, this place kind of fit her personality. With that thought in mind, I turned my attention toward apartment 201.
あ、ここが201号室か。でもゆい先生の家じゃないな。
The door plate for the room nearest the stairs had a name I didn't recognize scribbled on it.
ってことはこの奥か。
Passing room 201, I continued down the narrow walkway toward the end. Wandering alone around an apartment building I'd never been to before made me feel kind of nervous. It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, but my back still tensed up as I maneuvered around piled up strollers, plastic toys, and bundles of newspapers. Around then, finally, I arrived at the last door.
ここだ。
This was it. I breathed a sigh of relief. The door plate for apartment 207 read, Shishido. For an adult's handwriting especially, the letters were rounded and overly cutesy. This was Miss Yui's place, all right.
ん？なんだろうこれ。
I leaned in to read something written in small script on the corner of the door plate.
愛病注意って猛犬注意じゃなくてゆい先生らしいや。
So how exactly does one beware a house cat? Is it even possible for a house cat to be threatening? At any rate, I'd confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was Miss Yui's place, so my errand was nearing its end.
それにしても山崎先生もひどいよな。風邪ひいたクラスメートにプリント持っていくならわかるけど、風邪ひいた副担の先生のうちに授業のノートを届けろって。絶対におかしい。間違いなくこれ担任の仕事だよ。
He'd said he was busy with meetings, though, and really needed one of his students to help him out. But was it really okay to entrust a school student with confidential class notes?
これ生徒が読んじゃまずいノートなんじゃないのか。
My mind kept drifting from one question to another, and I'd become acutely aware of the inherent value in these notes I held in my bag. But tempting as it was, I just couldn't bring myself to look at them. Mr. Yamazaki put his faith in me after all. And I was stronger than that. I couldn't let this get the best of me. At any rate, I was here. I should have just been able to drop off the notes and be on my way. Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell. And then I waited, and waited, and waited some more. But there was no answer.
あれ俺呼び鈴をしたよな。ゆい先生！
I rang the bell again, and also tried calling out. But there was still no response.
どうしよう。寝てんのかな。起こしちゃ悪いけど、でも心配だしな。
When we'd heard that Ms. Yui was staying home sick today, we were all pretty disappointed. That's why part of me was actually a little happy that I was asked to run these over to her. I figured I'd be able to check in, see how she was doing, and let everyone at school know that she was feeling better.
けど会えないっていうのは想定外だったな。ゆい先生！ゆい先生！ ふん。ゆい先生、すみません。
She was probably sleeping, or out at the doctor's or something, but what if she were hurt? I tried opening the mail slot and peeking in. I thought maybe I could get a glimpse of the room inside.
ゆい先生。
It felt kind of wrong peeking into someone's house without their permission. But I was legitimately worried about Ms. Yui's health, so my conscience was clear on this one.
うわっ！ああ、猫。
A well-groomed cat was facing the door and staring back at me. With its head tilted slightly to the side, it let out an adorable meow. This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. And since Miss Yui was always going on and on about her little buddy, I was pretty sure I remembered his name.
この子が噂のモレじゃなくて、確かモネ。そうだ、モネちゃんだ。へえ、綺麗な猫だな。
Ms. Yui talked about her cat a lot in class, so pretty much the whole school had heard of him. She even had some tins of cat food hidden on a shelf in the classroom, probably because she'd bought too much and had no room for them in her apartment.
モネ、モネ。先生はいるか？
Did you really go?
先生がいるんだったら起こしてきてほしいんだ。モネ、頼むよ。やっぱり無理か。そりゃそうだよな。
My shoulders sank. I felt defeated. What the hell was I doing? I closed the mail slot and stood back up.
弱ったな。ゆい先生、どうしたんだろう。どっか外出中とか？空いてたりしないかな。
Lost in this speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob. And with a quick twist, I turned it and pushed on the door, opening it easily.
え？鍵かかってないのか？うわ、いけねえ！モネが出たら大変だ。お前のご主人様は不用心だな。鍵もかけてないなんて。
Monette's whiskers twitched as I called out to him from the entranceway.
なんだ？その通りだにゃって。モネもやっぱりそう思うか。
Here I was talking to a cat. Was this what I'd become?
どうしよう。
I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only had I peeped into someone's home, I'd walked in without a second thought. Moreover, this was where Miss Yui lived, alone. In other words, a woman's apartment. No matter how many times I reminded myself that I was here on an errand, I couldn't help feeling that I'd not only crossed a line, but leaped over it.
ゆい先生
I tried calling her name one last time. But as expected, there was no answer.
本当にどうしようかな。
I was trying hard to avoid being too nosy, but my eyes inevitably began surveying the room. The apartment entrance led out immediately into the kitchen, and beyond that there was a sliding door to some other room. I could see light through the gaps. I strained my ears, but there was nothing to hear. No signs of life whatsoever. Ms. Yui really must have been out. One more time. I'd try calling out to her one more time, just to put my concerns at ease. I felt like I'd seem even more suspicious if I stayed silent.
ゆい先生持田です。
Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of that door.
確かめてみ。いや。
Shaking my head furiously, I cast out that sudden impulse. That was a terrible idea, pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking all the way in, opening that sliding door and peeking inside, that was just too much.
っていうか、このタイミングでゆい先生が外から帰ってきたりしたら、俺結構まずい。じゃなくてだいぶまずい。
Monette mewed as if in agreement. Panicking, I once again surveyed my surroundings. I almost felt like there were eyes on me, staring with disdain. But of course, nobody was there.
あ、そうだ。書き置きを残していけばいいんじゃないか？
Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner, I dug into my bag for some paper and a pen.
山崎先生から頼まれたのでって書いておけばいいんだよな。俺のノートでいいや。ゆい先生
Crouching in the doorway, I ran my pen across the page. I brought class notes that at Mr. Yamazaki's behest. Everyone has been worried about you. Sorry about barging into your apartment.
あと不用心だから鍵はかけた方がいいと思いますと。ん？
As I was writing the note, I sensed a presence in front of me. Until just a moment ago, this house had had no signs of human life in it. But now, I could feel someone standing directly ahead. Standing and looking down at me. Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen. Raised my head slowly. And saw a white, slender ankle. Shocked, I shot my head up, and there, standing before me, was Ms. Yui.
Sensei.
She was looking right at me, but she seemed decidedly out of sorts. Her hair looked disheveled, her gaze was unsteady, and her pajamas were in complete disarray. She was like a completely different person from the usual kempt educator we'd come to know and love.
ゆい先生、俺勝手に入っちゃって。
I stood up frantically and held out the note I'd been writing. But Ms. Yui was just standing there, stupefied, with a completely vacant expression on her face.
先生。
I called out to her as gently as I could, but she was really dazed. She seemed almost like a ghost.
先生、どうしちゃったんだよ。
I had a sudden uneasy feeling. Worried, I walked up to Ms. Yui, grabbed her shoulders, and tried to snap her out of it by shaking her. But instead, this just seemed to make her cough.
先生!
These were wet, productive coughs, and spit was shooting out of Ms. Yui's mouth with each one. I frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time just wasn't quick enough. I put a hand to her cheek and found it thick with a slimy film of saliva.
"大丈夫?ゆい先生。
Ms. Yui hobbled back a little, then fell to her knees with a thud. She had completely sprawled out in the hallway, moaning and groaning the whole time.
先生?
Wiping the spatterings from my own face, I leaned over and took a better look at hers. It was bright red. Strained breathing, a stuffy nose, and a visibly high fever on top of it all. She was sick as could be.
寒い。
寒いの？でも汗かいてるよ。
寒い。
I thought maybe her sweat had cooled her down, but then realized her disheveled pajamas certainly weren't doing her any favors. With heart pounding a mile a minute and face red as a traffic light, I set about buttoning her up.
ゆい先生、俺のことわかる？持田だよ。寒いならちゃんと布団で寝ないと。出ないと治るもんも治らないって。
She absent-mindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie, slowly reopened her eyes and looked up at me. It was the gaze of a severely fevered mind.
ゆい先生、
司くん。
え？うわー！
司くん。司くん。
え？
Ms. Yui was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock. She began to weep.
来てくれたのね、司くん。
え？つかさ？
嬉しい。よかった。
先生待って、人違いだよ。
It seemed like I wasn't getting through to her at all. And the sensation of her chest as she held me was making it virtually impossible to fight her grip. I was utterly powerless against this opponent. I'd never realized before just how soft a woman's chest really was. God, am I that weak-willed? I had to remind myself that Ms. Yui had me confused with someone else. Mustering all the strength I could, I gripped her arms and tried to pry them off of me. But she was a lot stronger than I'd anticipated and wouldn't let me get away.
怖かったよ、司くん。怖かった。
怖かった？
まさか来てくれるなんて思わなかった。
うわ！
As she squeezed me tightly, I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of her softest parts. I was blushing uncontrollably.
ゆい先生、ちょっと離れて。先生ってばー。
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. since this seems like a good enough place to stop. So until next time, thank you all very much for watching, and ciao for now. Ciao for now.